Hello, it's Belinda. Today I have a really nice quick layout to share with you, and this is Christmas themed for Scrappy Christmas in July, where I am in Western Australia. It's the middle of winter here, so it feels a little bit more like the traditional Christmas that I know my Northern Hemisphere friends really love. So while it is nice and cold and wintry, I am taking the opportunity to dig through my Christmas photos and to dig through my Christmas stash and to document some stories that are as yet undocumented. So I'm starting off with a really nice thick piece of white watercolor paper, and I'm adding a light wash of one of the Lindy Stamp Gang Magicals, just roughly with a nice big fat brush in strokes running down the middle of the page. Then off camera I have matted that page, that white background, onto a piece of pink patterned paper which came from this Die Cuts with a View paper pad. Now this came out I believe last year in 2019 and I adore it. It's full of beautiful soft pinks, some rose golds, greys, some mustardy yellows, black and white, just really soft pretty colours. Not your traditional Christmas colours, but for me I just love them. So I am taking full advantage of those pink patterned papers, which I do love pink, and I'm creating a nice soft pretty, this is an 8.5 by 11 page, which I haven't done for a while. I'm not sure why, but the photo that I'm scrapping was a pretty low quality photo from my phone. So I tried printing it in a 4x6 size and I wasn't happy with the format, with the quality. So because the photo is a little bit smaller, I thought the smaller format of 8.5 and 11 would be a little bit better to use. So this is a really simple design that I'm creating here. It's quite balanced. It's quite linear, if that's the right way to describe it. I have cut a piece of patterned paper down to 11 inches by 5 inches, and then I'm just adhering that down the center of my page. Before I adhered it, I did run it through my sewing machine and just added a row of stitching down either side. And now I've got this beautiful gold sequin trim. I've actually got two different versions of this. I've got one with larger sequins and one with smaller sequins. So for this layout, I'm using the trim with the smaller sequins. And then my wet adhesive, which is the Art Glitter Glue with the fine tip applicator, and running that down each side of that patterned paper strip in the middle. Now, the design for this, I will happily admit, was inspired by a sketch from Scrapbook Generations. I've purchased a few of their Scrapbook sketch ebooks just to try and make my process a little bit faster, and particularly with these Christmas layouts where I'm wanting to get through a few of them quite quickly. I am using those Scrapbook Generations sketches just as a jumping off point to start me off, so I don't have to put too much thought into the design. So it's a really great way if you are wanting to scrap quickly and you want to take some of the decision making out of it. Definitely take a look at their sketchbooks. They have lots of free sketches available, but also some that you can purchase, and I purchased these ones. And it's a really great way to get you scrapping quickly and easily. So I have matted my photo onto a white border, as I always do, and then I've chosen a black pattern paper from some cut down pieces that I had from that paper pad. And now I'm layering up some tissue paper behind. This is some tissue paper that I bought, I believe, at Spotlight a couple of years ago, and it's got little gold foil dots on it, but the polka dots are quite far apart, spaced quite far apart, so you kind of lose a lot of the effect once it's matted behind that photo. Now I apologize, I lost a bit of footage there because my camera for some reason decided to stop filming, but you didn't really miss much, just adding some dimension in the form of chipboard behind my photo. So I've added 2 layers there just to pop it off the page a little bit, because it is quite a simple page design. I want to make sure that I am adding some interest in other ways, and that's with the added textures, so the stitching and the sequins and the tissue paper, and with the dimension that I have added here behind that photo. This Holly Jolly title is from a Thickers pack that I have, and it is cozy. It's a whole bunch of wintry Christmas themed words, and it was perfect. Nice, fit in well with my color scheme. And then just a little bit of strip journaling tucked up on my typewriter is going to line up there on the bottom underneath that chipboard title. I've moved away from using my Xyron runner for my strip journaling. It's much easier, I'm finding, to just reach for this adhesive in the fine liner with the fine line tip, and now that I'm happy that this isn't going to get clogged up, it's something that I'm much happier to use more regularly. And I don't do a lot of embellishing on this layout. These little houses are from a previous year's Felicity Jane kit, and I really loved them, but they were never really something that was going to work in a December daily album the way that I do it. So I thought that they would be perfect here. The colors work in well. It adds a little bit of interest. And as far as tying in the little houses with the photo and the story, if I can get a little bit sentimental, I guess you could say that this was our first Christmas together as a family, and it really did feel like being at home with my husband. He wasn't my husband then, but he is now, and he feels like home. So the houses still fit with the story, just a little bit more abstractly than perhaps you might first realize. So I've just tucked those in. When I put them down, I tried to vary the size and the color and make sure that there was a little bit of difference, that there wasn't 2 of the same size or 2 of the same color up against each other. And then I've gone into my stash of sequins, and I've pulled out some gold sequins, gold star sequins in 2 different sizes. And I'm just going to dot a little bit of adhesive around and scatter them around the pink patterned paper strip that runs down the middle. So I'm adding some of the big sequins and then coming in and creating tiny little clusters by adding these teeny tiny little gold stars. And something I didn't realize as I was doing it, but once I finished and I put the page down and I had a look at it, the way that I end up scattering the stars on the top of the page, it really actually makes it look like it's stars above the row of houses in the night sky. So I thought that was really sweet, totally unintentional, but really sweet and really pretty. And yeah. So once I finished sticking these sequins down, that's it. It was a super fast layout, really pretty, fairly clean, still got my mixed media in, still got my stitching in, still got my texture and my interest. And it's a simple little story that is documented. So of course I do have some close-up photos coming at the end of this video. If you are new to my channel and you are not yet subscribed, I would love it if you would subscribe so that you can see all the good videos that I have coming up. And if you have enjoyed watching, please go ahead and give me a like. It really helps me to grow my channel when I do get those likes. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day.